Hi everyone, I'm Chanelle Adams and welcome to my channel. This video is a little bit different from my past videos, but this is a video that I've been wanting to do for a really long time because it actually mixes a lot of the things that I love and a lot of the things that I believe in. This video is about how learning another language has brought me closer to God, and also what has learning a language taught me over these past few years. So if you're new to my channel, I've been learning Spanish for the past three and a half years now, and I've completely transformed my life because of it. I can't even begin to tell you what my life was before learning Spanish and what my life is like now. My channel is mostly about my language learning journey and the different places I've been all over the world thanks to me learning my new language. Now, I've now been learning Spanish, and I'm also learning another language, which I'm really excited. I'm actually getting much better in, and I'm getting a little bit more confident in this language, and I will be revealing that new language very soon. So I'm really excited. Make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm really excited to do the big reveal. I've wanted to share, some of my beliefs and also some of the things that has helped me and molded me to the person that I am today, not only as a language learner and as a world traveler, but just as a person. So getting right into it, the first thing that has brought me closer to God while learning another language is humility. Now, something that is very important in the Christian faith is being humble. And there is nothing more humbling than being corrected all the time, than being wrong all the time, than being humiliated all the time, having people laugh at you all the time. One of my favorite YouTubers, she said, it's not like I wake up in the morning saying, I want to be humiliated today. Language learning is not about, being cool, or well, some people may think it's about being cool, but really and truly, language learning, the journey of learning another language, it's full of humiliation. It's full of no, you're wrong. It's full of being kind of criticized sometimes, even if it's not about your choice of language. Maybe it's your accent, or maybe it's people saying, why bother learning that language in the first place, So it is a very humbling experience, and I think that has brought me closer to God because it taught me that I'm not always right. Sometimes as a Capricorn, I believe that I'm always right, and a lot of times I am, but a lot of times I'm not, and I have to remind myself of being humble and also being thankful for the things that I have in my life. And honestly, language learning will make you into a more humble person. It will definitely teach you humility. The next thing that brought me closer to God while learning another language was my listening skills. So I'm sure we've all heard that saying, don't listen to reply, actually listen to the person. Well, when you're learning a language and you're having a conversation, you actually really have to listen to that person, or else you won't even understand what they're saying. So this process of learning another language really helps you to listen to people. Listening to people is so important because people deserve to be heard. If you're taking out time out of their day to have a conversation with them, you should actually listen to them, listen to their point of views. Don't just listen to argue, don't just listen to respond, but actually listen to their side of things, listen to their point of view. And honestly, being a Christian, that is so important because every day with my line of work, I work as a flight attendant. My line of work, I meet people from all types of backgrounds, all types of religions, all types of faiths. And it is so important to listen to people, how they feel and how they view life, because not only can you learn from them, but also they will be more willing to listen to you because you took that time out and showed them respect to listen to them. So I believe that God wants us to listen to others, even if they believe something completely different to us. It is very important to show that respect, because how will you expect to be listened to if you don't show that respect to others? So I really believe that language learning has helped and improved my listening skills, not just with learning Spanish and learning the other language that I'm learning, but also just as a person. So definitely your listening skills will be improved as a whole while learning another language. The third thing that I've learned and that has improved my relationship with God while learning another language is my patience. Oh my gosh, if you are learning a language right now, I think you understand what I'm saying. Patience is so key when learning another language. It is essential to have patience when learning another language, not only with continuous study every day, contact with the language every day, trying to speak that language every day, trying to listen to that language every day, studying every day. Not just that, but getting it wrong and getting that gusto and getting that confidence to get back up even when you're wrong. That takes a lot of patience, because a lot of people could be telling you, oh, you're saying that incorrectly. Oh, you're not fluent yet. Are you fluent? People could be putting that pressure on you, and that can make you want to give up. But it's really up to you to have that patience to keep going, because sometimes we'll see people on YouTube and watch their progress. Maybe it's not language learning, but maybe it's their career, maybe it's their life, maybe it's different milestones in their lives, and you're comparing it to yourself, and you're saying, man, like, I'm this age, I should be XYZ, I should be at this place. But really and truly, you have to have patience within yourself to know that this is your lane. This is the pace that you're going to go. Not everyone is going to be on the highway on life. Sometimes you're going to take a longer route. Sometimes it's going to take a little longer for you to reach your goal. And not only that, it's not good to compare your progress to someone else's progress. You don't know their life. You don't know the work ethic or non-work ethic they put into things. So you have to have that patience within yourself to know it's going to come. It's going to come. And as a Christian, patience is so key, because there are certain things in my life that has not panned out, or certain people that I wasn't able to work with, or certain things that didn't happen in my life that I really wanted to happen. And I have to tell myself it's not too late, and also that these good things could happen. These good things could happen, and I have to have patience, not only with learning my new language, but also with other things in my life. I have to have patience and believe that they will happen. The fourth thing that has improved my relationship with God and while learning another language is my memory. Now, I had a pretty okay memory before learning Spanish, but honestly, my memory has improved, not just with learning another language, but with other things like knowing people's names, remembering people's faces, and also remembering Bible verses. There are certain times before learning Spanish where I would read something in the Bible and I would just completely forget it. I'm like, what? And not even trying to memorize it, but just forgetting it as a total, like completely forgetting it. But now it seems as though like me learning another language has strengthened my memory so that I can remember God's word, and I can also remember different things in my life, like people's birthdays, people's names. And these are important things because I believe that friendships and your social surroundings are very important for this thing that we call life. And my memory has improved so much, and I'm just so happy about that because man, I was forgetting everything. The fifth thing that brought me closer to God while learning another language was my dedication. Along with the patience, my dedication to learning this language has just completely and almost took over my life. Because I heard a lot of people saying that I can't do it or that I shouldn't do it, it pushed me to do it, And also, You know, there aren't any people in my family that has learned another language except one of my uncles who back in like the 60s or 70s, he taught himself Spanish back in Trinidad and Tobago. And in Trinidad and Tobago, there are a few Spanish speakers, but it's predominantly English speaking, although it's surrounded by Spanish speaking countries. So it really interested him to learn Spanish. And you know, back then there was no internet. There was only books. So he learned Spanish through English to Spanish and Spanish to English dictionaries, and also going to church and speaking to the Venezuelan immigrants that would come into the church. And that's how he learned to speak Spanish fluently. And honestly, that story pushed me. Like, if he could do it with books, like I could do it with YouTube, I could do it with the internet. So my dedication grew, and not only to continuing until I reached advanced level or fluency, but also my dedication to God has grown. You know, I thank God for me being able to travel to different countries, meeting different people, and speaking another language and learning another language. Like, that to me has come because of my dedication to God. And I am just so thankful, and I feel so blessed. And now I have a new career as a flight attendant where I get to travel the world for free. Like, that is nothing but God, I'm telling you. So I believe that my dedication to God has brought me these blessings, and I've learned dedication through learning another language. Another thing that brought me closer to God while learning another language was being my own cheerleader. You know, sometimes in life we have people that truly push us and truly want the best for us, but sometimes we don't have anybody. And there were times, especially when I was living in Spain, there were times where I felt so alone, and I felt like I would never learn Spanish. Like, this is not getting in my head. Like, I just can't get this at all. But honestly, like, I had to stop with the negative thinking. I had to stop with the negative thoughts and just push myself and just become my own cheerleader. And I had to tell myself, Chanelle, you can do it. Chanelle, there are other people in this world that have done it before you. You can do it. This is for you. You can do it, you know? So I definitely had to push myself and be my own cheerleader. And this has brought me closer to God too, because honestly, like, I feel like we live in a world, especially here in the United States, we live in a world where God is not very valued. You know, talking about Jesus is not popular, you know, and you know, you're just kind of outcasted for really proclaiming your love for God. So I have to push myself and surround myself with people who truly love God and who thinks it's cool to be a Christian, you know? And I personally think it's cool to be a Christian, and I'm not claiming to be the most holier than thou, and I'm not trying to preach to nobody, and I know I make mistakes, but that's what being a Christian is all about. It's admitting your mistakes and just giving those mistakes to God. And honestly, that has been one of the biggest revelations that I've had throughout my Christian journey. So that brings me into the next thing that I've learned that brings me to the next thing that brought me closer to God while learning Spanish or while learning another language is forgiveness, but self-forgiveness. You know, sometimes we forgive others quicker than we forgive ourselves. You know, when there were times where I didn't study or I didn't really put my 100% into really studying that day, and I felt really guilty and I felt really bad. Honestly, the best remedy for that is to get back up again, forgive yourself, and go harder. Go 1,000% harder. And that also reminds me of the Christian journey. There will be times where I made like a really bad mistake, or I just did something wrong and I knew it was wrong, or like I mistreated somebody and I felt so guilty and so bad about it. It's so important to forgive yourself. You know, when Jesus was talking about treat others as you would like to be treated, It also could mean vice versa. Treat yourself how you treat others. You have to treat people good, but you have to treat yourself good too. So forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is so important. But what you do after that self-forgiveness is important too. You have to get back on the horse again, and you have to go harder. You can't just stay in that self-guilt, that self-pity, because then you won't go anywhere. You know, I don't want to be preaching and anything, but you know, this is so important, and this video has been on my mind for a very long time now. So I think it's so important that I share this with you. Whether you're Christian or not, I really think you can benefit from this message, because learning a language not only just teaches you new words, but it brings you into another way of thinking, another way of life, and into another culture. In a way that if someone were to interpret what's going on, it wouldn't be the same as you know, or as you know the words for yourself. So this has been so monumental for me. And if you guys have been following me and subscribed to me for a long time, you guys know, like, I turn anything into like a deep discussion, because that's just who I am. I'm a deep person. I'm not just woohoo, you know. I'm also a person that really sits and analyzes things about life and give things deep thought, and this has been something on my mind for a long time now. And I can definitely say the last thing that brought me closer to God while learning another language is trusting your gut. Trusting your gut is so important. You know, the Bible talks about your intuition being the Holy Spirit, and honestly, that's what it is, your gut, trusting your instincts. When you're learning another language and you're having a conversation with someone, sometimes you don't really understand what they're saying, but you understand what they're saying. You know, you may not understand the words, but based off of their body language and based off of the context, you feel like you actually know what this person is saying. And once you reach like that upper intermediate level, you start to get that a lot. You don't really understand all of the words, but you do understand what they're saying. That is your gut telling you this is what they're saying. That's your intuition going into play. And there have been times where bad things could have happened, not only in America, but traveling abroad. Bad things could have happened, and my intuition told me, Chanelle, turn around, or Chanelle, don't go there, or Chanelle, you know, go the other way. You know, that was God telling me and protecting me from something. So when you tap into trusting your intuition and trusting your gut, that builds that muscle, that intuition muscle that some of us have suppressed over some time. And honestly, it's so important to trust God too, because He is going to protect us and He's going to provide for us. And that's what He's been doing for me, honestly. Like, ever since truly changing my life and giving my life to Christ, like, my life has been crazy, good and bad. It's not just rainbows and lilies and woohoo, Jesus. Like, it's not just that. There are bad things that can happen too while being a Christian. But I feel like when you truly give your life to God, God gives you what you need to handle those situations. And honestly, through traveling and through learning other cultures and learning other languages, I feel way more prepared for this world, for life, more than ever. And this has been such a crazy journey, and I'm just so happy and so excited that I can share this journey with you guys. Like, you guys have seen my journey from the beginning, like from when I could only say a few sentences in Spanish to now, you know, been living in Spain and then living in Colombia and then possibly moving to another country. You know, like, you guys have been with me throughout this whole journey, and I just want to say thank you so much. Like, this is crazy. So I just wanted to share that, you know, this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. And like I said, even if you're not Christian, I still think you can learn something from this video, because it can improve your life just in general, learning another language. And I'm just so thankful to have shared this part of me with you guys. You know, I have some other videos talking about my Christian journey. I would love for you to check those out. So I also wanted to share this wonderful note from one of my subscribers, and I just want to say thank you so much for your donation. It's really appreciated and it's used to help my channel. So thank you so much for your donation and for your beautiful note. So the note reads, "Hey Chanelle, my name is Mike and I like watching your videos on YouTube. Soy colombiano, pero yo no hablo bien en español, pero estoy aprendiendo. So watching your videos helps me to learn. So keep doing what you're doing." Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate notes like that because I'm still growing and learning here on YouTube. So notes like that encourage me and they help me grow as a person, as a YouTuber, and it's just so amazing that people are enjoying my videos. So thank you so much, Mike, and thank you so much for your donation. Also, if you would like to donate, check out the link below for more information on how to donate to my channel. It helps me out as a channel and it helps me to grow, and all donations are appreciated. Again, thank you so much for your donation, Mike, and thank you so much for your note. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is like the craziest thing ever to be able to talk about my love for languages, my love for God, my love for travel, my love for food, my love for fashion, my love for everything, you know. This is just the coolest thing to be able to share with you guys. So enough of me talking. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos and definitely hit that like button and tell me, what do you think about this? How has your language learning journey been for you? Comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments. Thanks again for watching and bye.